Out of all of the new boss damage strategies that have come out from Lightfall, Thunderlord was not one of the ones that I expected. I keep seeing tons of people using it, but very few concrete tests that actually provide good data on how it compares to top options like Izzy and Rocket. The biggest reason for this is because the majority of the tests are conducted on Nezarec. So Nezarec is a realistic boss to be testing it on, but the problem is, when the boss gets one-phased by any remotely powerful option, you really don't get a good sense of comparison. So I'm going to add it to our big Lightfall DPS graph and compare it to some of the other options. If you just want the TLDR, skip to the timestamp on screen. To start off, we need to find a way to quantify Thunderlord's damage, since it's a pretty complicated system. Thunderlord has three major things going for it. First, as you deal sustained damage, you generate lightning strikes. Next, your RPM increases in two distinct tiers while you hold down the trigger. And finally, the weapon partially reloads itself as you fire due to the Catalyst perk. As per usual, all of my testing footage is posted in the Google Drive in the description in case you want to verify any of my measurements. Thunderlord produces a lightning strike once every 1 second, and every time lightning strikes, it adds 7 rounds back to the mag from reserves. Next, Thunderlord will kick up its RPM from 450 to 620 after 2.25 seconds of firing, and after a further 2 more seconds, it'll kick up from 620 to 704. Due to the large amount of variables here, I'm going to write a Python script that I'll post in the description that'll calculate out for us the total number of shots fired, total lightning strikes, and total time over a full magazine of firing. Displaying the data from the script, we find that in total, we fired out 139 shots and 11 lightning strikes over a time of 12.01 seconds. Using the damage values acquired from my testing, I came out to this damage graph, which is now included in my damage sheet in the description. And comparing it to other options like Izzy Rocket, you can see that it's pretty mediocre at best, which is what I was expecting. Thunderlord's niche is that it's an extremely easy to use weapon. You hold left click and it does damage. Against bosses like Nezarec, it's easy to pick up and output some solid damage, but I lose brain cells every time I see somebody call it the best DPS in the game, or ask for it in high level content. Knowing that a weapon is good, and knowing why it's good, are two completely separate things. Thunderlord has the capability to perform in certain scenarios, oftentimes being enough to kill a boss. But that doesn't absolutely mean that you should be using it if you want to output optimal damage in something like a Master Raid or a solo dungeon. To close things off, I'll probably start being more active as of the end of this season and beginning of next season. I've been taking a bit of a break due to the lack of build diversity with the new mod system, but I should hopefully be back to mostly normal routine as of Season of the Deep. If ever you want to get a hold of me or ask questions, please join my Discord in the description and at me, because I usually respond to those more consistently than DMs.